developments tonight in a deadly shooting on I-20 in DeKalb County during rush hour this evening. The victim has died.
The license plate on this Maybach reads blessed. It's one of the most expensive cars in the world, but this one is covered in bullet holes. The driver shot and killed while heading down I-20 in DeKalb County.
Now to our other top story tonight. A man shot and killed while driving down I-20 during rush hour. He was behind the wheel of one of the world's most expensive cars.
April 11th, 2013, Thursday afternoon. Atlanta was in the middle of rush hour. James Deadrick Lewiel, known in the streets as OG Double D, was behind the wheel of his brand new Mercedes Maybach, a luxury vehicle worth over $400,000. At 42 years old, Double D had built a reputation in Atlanta's hip-hop scene. He was an executive with Freebandz, the record label founded by rapper Future. He divided his time between Miami and Atlanta, moving between two worlds with the confidence of someone who believed he had made it. That Thursday started like many others for Double D. He had plans, people to see, business to handle. He visited South DeKalb Mall not once, but twice that day. Family members would later say he seemed relaxed, in good spirits. He dropped his brother off at their mother's house just hours before everything changed. Nobody knows exactly why he made those two trips to the mall, but his family believes someone noticed him there. Someone who recognized the Maybach. Someone who saw an opportunity. Double D wasn't just Future's associate. Future called him Unca, a sign of respect and family. In the photos Double D posted on social media, he flashed cash, expensive watches, and the Maybach he would eventually die in. He recorded with Future's Freebandz label, released tracks like Preach to Them, and was affiliated with other major artists, including Rick Ross, Rocko, and Young Scooter. According to those close to the situation, Double D helped finance some of these artists' early careers. He was more than a rapper. He was a businessman, a mentor, a money man. South DeKalb Mall sat at the intersection of Candler Road and Interstate 20. The mall had been a staple of the community since 1968, though by 2013 it had seen better days. On that Thursday, Double D's movements through the mall went largely unnoticed by most shoppers. But someone was watching. Someone who saw the Maybach parked outside. Someone who recognized what it meant. The theory that would emerge later was simple and chilling. Double D had been followed from the mall. At approximately 5:15 p.m., Double D was driving westbound on Interstate 20, approaching the Glenwood Avenue exit. Traffic was heavy. Rush hour in Atlanta meant thousands of cars packed onto the highway. People heading home after work. Double D was alone in the Maybach, the luxury sedan cutting through traffic. Then a white SUV pulled alongside him. Witnesses later told police they saw what happened next. The white SUV matched Double D's speed, pulling even with the Maybach. Then came the gunfire. 9 shots. The bullets ripped through the Maybach's double-pane windows, the luxury vehicle's reinforced glass, doing little to stop the barrage. One witness would later tell reporters it sounded like a bazooka. The sound echoed across the highway. Drivers around Double D must have realized what was happening, but there was nowhere to go. The white SUV fled the scene immediately, disappearing into rush hour traffic.
It sounded like it was a shotgun, I know that. It was 4 shots.
Police say witnesses saw someone in a white SUV shooting at the Maybach during the height of rush hour, then speeding off here on I-20 westbound near the Glenwood exit.
There are some preliminary indications that this shooting actually took place along the highway. We have a witness who called 911 reporting possible gunshots along the highway. In addition to that, we have discovered some shell casings along the roadway as well.
Double D's Maybach drifted to the right shoulder of I-20, coming to a stop near the Glenwood Avenue exit. His foot had slipped from the pedal. All 4 doors were locked. The windshield wipers were still going, moving back and forth across the bullet-riddled windshield. An off-duty Atlanta firefighter noticed the vehicle partially blocking the far right lane. He pulled over to investigate. When he approached the Maybach, he saw Double D slumped inside, shot multiple times. The firefighter broke a back window to reach him. Double D was still breathing, but barely. Double D was rushed to Grady Memorial Hospital in critical condition. Doctors worked to save him, but the damage was too severe. Multiple gunshot wounds, blood loss. The bullets had torn through him with precision and violence. At Grady, as medical staff fought to keep him alive, word began to spread on the streets and social media. OG Double D had been shot. The man who helped build Freebandz was fighting for his life. DeKalb County Police spokeswoman Mecca Parrish addressed the media. Several lanes of I-20 had been shut down as police investigated the crime scene. Parrish confirmed that shots had been fired from a white SUV during the middle of rush hour. Drivers had called 911 reporting they had actually witnessed the gunfire. Parrish stated the obvious. They had potentially avoided an extremely dangerous situation. A highway shooting during rush hour could have resulted in multiple casualties, crashes, chaos. But the white SUV had gotten away clean. Traffic backed up for miles. Investigators combed the scene, looking for shell casings, evidence, anything that could point them toward the shooters. The Maybach sat on the shoulder, a crime scene on wheels. Evidence markers dotted the highway. The contrast was stark. A $400,000 luxury vehicle riddled with bullets on a public highway. Onlookers like Daniel Chapman stood watching the investigation unfold. Chapman told reporters he figured it had to be somebody mighty important to be driving a car like that. He doubted it was road rage. People didn't just shoot like that for no reason. Later that night, Double D succumbed to his injuries. He died at Grady Memorial Hospital, leaving behind 2 sons and a daughter. The news hit Atlanta's hip-hop community immediately. Double D's funeral was held at New Life Church in Decatur. The service was scheduled for 1 p.m. on Saturday, with burial at Kennedy Memorial Gardens in Ellenwood. Visitation ran from noon to 8 p.m. on Friday at the church on Flat Shoals Parkway. The turnout would be massive. Double D had touched many lives. He wasn't just a rapper who talked about the street life. According to those who knew him, he had actually lived it, survived it, and was trying to help others make it out too. His sister told the Atlanta Journal-Constitution that her brother had fallen into the rap game almost by accident. He was about to take off as a solo act, she said. The timing of his death was particularly cruel. He was on the verge of something bigger. Instead, he became another statistic, another name added to Atlanta's growing list of hip-hop casualties. Double D's family had no idea who killed him. In desperation, they offered a $10,000 reward for information leading to an arrest. Witnesses had reported seeing a white SUV fleeing the crime scene, but that was all police had. In a city the size of Atlanta, finding one white SUV was like finding a needle in a haystack. The case began to go cold. Months passed with no breaks, no arrests, no justice. By April 2014, a full year had passed since Double D's murder. The investigation had stalled. The community had moved on, as communities do. But Double D's family never stopped searching for answers. Then, in April 2014, DeKalb County Police made an announcement that would shock everyone involved. They had a suspect, Christopher Dyer, 25 years old, had been charged with murder in connection with the shooting death of James D. Lewiel. But Dyer wasn't in Atlanta. He was sitting in a Florida jail at the Marion Correctional Institution in Ocala, where he had been since March 2014 on burglary and grand theft auto charges from Volusia County. The charges stemmed from February 2012, over a year before Double D's murder. Dyer was also wanted in Palm Beach County on unknown charges. Jail records revealed that Dyer had previously served 3 years of a 4-year sentence in Broward County, Florida, for a pair of 2007 armed robbery convictions. This wasn't a man unfamiliar with violence or the criminal justice system. DeKalb Police spokesman Captain Stephen Ford confirmed that Dyer was awaiting extradition from Florida to DeKalb County. Homicide detectives were still investigating, but they finally had their man, or so it seemed. What remains clear is Double D's impact on those who knew him. His social media accounts, frozen in time from April 2013, show a man who had achieved a level of success many only dream about. The photos of cash, watches, and the Maybach weren't just flexing. They represented someone who had made it out of difficult circumstances and was living proof that the lifestyle he rapped about was real. But they also represented a target, In a world where showing wealth can make you a mark, Double D's visibility may have been his downfall. The same Instagram posts that inspired young artists may have also attracted the attention of those who saw him as an opportunity. The Maybach that symbolized his success became the vehicle of his death. Today, over a decade after that Thursday afternoon on I-20, OG Double D remains a ghost in Atlanta's hip-hop history. He appears in old music videos, in social media tributes, in Future's lyrics. The case that was supposed to bring closure never delivered. Christopher Dyer was charged, but seemingly never tried. The white SUV was never publicly identified. The full story of what happened that day on Interstate 20 remains incomplete. Double D's legacy lives in the artists he helped finance, the tracks he recorded, and the memory of those who knew him.